Hey, lovers, good afternoon, and welcome to today's Cuppa with Katie. Such a pleasure to be with you. I am still kind of reeling from my 5-day challenge last week, my Meet Your Soulmate challenge. What an amazing week that always is. It completely blows me away, the transformation that women receive in just 5 days. For free, by the way. It's pretty incredible. And it's my honor to guide and lead those women. So yeah, if you missed it and you're kicking yourself, because I did see people that were trying to kind of come in and join the challenge Facebook group on day 2, day 3, even on the Friday of the challenge, people were trying to join the group and I couldn't let them in because the rules are you have to be in first thing Monday morning. Otherwise, I am doing you a total disservice. The challenge, the tasks, the whole lot won't make sense to you. So, and then I had people like trying to register at the last minute, but too late. And so if you're one of those people, come do my next challenge. I am scheduling that for Valentine's Day next year. So 14th of February, we're going to get started. Valentine's Day is a shitty day, isn't it, when you're single? Mind you, in my last years of being single, I used to celebrate myself on Valentine's Day. I would go buy myself roses. I would, yeah, just treat myself, take myself to the spa, do something nice. So, you know, it's a self-love opportunity right there. And you can do all the self-love you like. Do you do self-love? You can receive all the self-love you like. And if your desire is to love and be loved, Valentine's Day just really, really highlights that. So I'm going to use the energy of that desire, that dissatisfaction in February and move another bunch of women forward to helping them to meet their soulmate. And it's all about preparing, right? The work is preparing you energetically to meet him. That's what I do. That's what I love. Hello, Emma. Emma was on the challenge last week. Sarah's here. Sarah is my amazing ambassador. So she is my cheerleader and support team and just general all-around amazing, gorgeous woman. Is that a new profile picture, Sarah? That's gorgeous. So she'll be on there probably again if she dares to come back. Ruth was there too. Hello, darlings. So if you're here live, say hello. Kate's here. Hello, darling. Kate's done the challenge. Didn't do the recent one, but she's done one. And yeah, she's making leaps and strides forward. Very exciting. If you're here on the replay, type in hashtag. That's me doing a hashtag, by the way. Type in hashtag replay. Let me know you're here because like I say every week, I do keep an eye on who's watching. So for those of you that were in the challenge last week, I'm essentially going to do a little recap on one element of it. So stay if you like. You can only ever go deeper into this work, as you know. That's why I've had people in the challenge do it. There's women in there who've done it 4 times now because every single time they go deeper, they're healing layer upon layer upon layer. Yeah, we never stop healing. We never stop clearing the path to receive more love. Right? Like I'm still clearing the path to receive more love and I'm married. Like, yeah, our humanness gets in the way and we have to remember. Sarah, why thank you. It was from outside my naked photo shoot. Oh yeah. So you're not naked in that picture though. No, I can see a little V of your clothing. So naked photo shoots, they are the best. They can be so empowering. I've done a couple myself. So yes, there was, and there usually is, whenever I run these challenges, there's a theme. There's either a theme to the, I remember my first challenge, there was this most incredible theme where so many women had been single for 8 years. And that was my story. I'd been single 8 years. And, you know, again, it reflects the truth that we are vibrational beings and we magnetize like for like. Yeah. So my first challenge, I was attracting women who'd been single for 8 years because that was the story I was sharing. This challenge, we had a lot of women sharing their stories and experiences and asking questions around how on earth do I move forward when I can't let go of the person I was with. So there was questions like, because part of the work is creating, like tapping into the desired future you want, tapping into the desired relationship you want, and creating a vision around that, and a practice of checking in with that vision and enjoying and receiving that vision as a process of manifestation. But a lot of women are like, I can't vision the future relationship because all I see is the guy that I was with last, the one I still wonder about, like, what's he doing now? What would we be doing if we were still together? Could it have worked out? They do that awful ruminating. Oh, Rachel's here. Hello, Rachel. Good to have you back, darling. Hope you're okay. They do that. Oh, Sarah's saying, gotta go. You're only here for 30 seconds, woman. That's okay. You're allowed to go to a meeting. They find themselves, and maybe you can relate, ruminating on, oh, if only I'd said that, if only I'd done that, maybe I could have done that better, maybe I could have bended myself into more of a pretzel for him, so that I was all things for him. And of course, that's definitely never what it's about. But this is the kind of stuff we think about and we wonder about, and we put our energy there. Now, that's a really powerful piece, little quick takeaway right now. That's where we put our energy. Someone's saying hi, and I don't know who it is. So whoever said hi, could you now write your name? So I know. The thing with StreamYard is you have to give them permission to use your name if you're on Facebook. So that's where your energy is. Where you are focusing your energy is what you are attracting more of. And where you're putting your energy is, like, if you're putting all your energy into wondering, what could I have done? How could I have done it better? How would it be now if we're still together? That's exhausting. And it's focusing on an experience that you don't want to create. Like, you don't, do you know what I mean? Oh, it's Rachel. That's weird how it recognized your name first, then didn't. Oh, no, it's Kellyanne. You got to do the permission thing. Yeah. Hi, Kellyanne, darling. Good to have you. So the feeling, right? If you're focused so much on the past and what didn't happen and ruminating about it, goodness me, that's such an energy drain. And a lot of these women were tired. They're exhausted. They didn't have the energy to even focus on what they wanted to call in and create the beautiful vision, to be able to sit with that snapshot of a vision every day, knowing they were manifesting their desired soulmate, because they were so tired of ruminating on the past. And this is what I don't want for you, and they don't want this for them. So I'm going to just share a few little tips and pointers. Hello, Jane, darling, great to have you. I'm going to share just a few bits and bobs that I shared during the challenge last week. Now, this is actually a really big conversation, so I'm going to really snapshot it today. But if you are in the habit of, if you know this is dragging you down and holding you back, the piece of looking backwards instead of forwards, you're in the right place. Your unique experience will be unique to you. So I'm going to top line something here. But if you have any questions that kind of come out of this, by all means, email support at, there it is on the bottom of the screen, support@theschoolofself.love. And ask me your specific questions, and then I can do an even more specific answer in a future couple with Katie. And that's the thing. That's where coaching becomes really powerful. I get to bespoke support you, bespoke answer you. So what we're doing here today is quite generic, but I have a feeling that what I'm going to share is going to be really, really helpful to many of you. Hi, Emma in Dubai. I bet you've got gorgeous weather. Does it ever rain in Dubai? Probably not. Okay, so the first two things I'm going to share with you, you're going to listen and go, yeah, I know, but tell me how to stop looking backwards. But bear with me, because I'm going to get to that. So the first thing, I did make some notes. The first thing you have got to do, because self-love is self-responsibility. You are an adult, and you, only you, are in charge of your life. You have got to create a ninja-like focus on your future. Now, I know that's hard, and I'm going to share some tips and tools with you on how to how to stop looking backwards. But you just got to set the intention right here, right now, that no matter what, you are focusing forwards. You have to set the intention to focus on what you want and stop giving your energy to what you don't want. That's the first. If you feel so stuck in that, then there's a prayer you can use. And so many of you who are here live now know the prayer. Even though I don't know how, I'm willing to be shown. Because your way to healing and clearing up the past and removing blocks and barriers to love and moving forward, your way is unique to you. So while someone like me will teach you tips and tools, your way will be your way. And no one, there's no guru, there's no expert, there's no therapist, there's no coach, there's no one in the world that knows your way better than you. And I really believe that when we open up with a prayer like, even though I don't know, I'm willing to be shown, we're allowing life, God, source energy, the universe, to show us our own unique path and our way. So setting the intention to focus forward and to be shown how to do that, even if you don't know how, is the first step. You've got to get really ninja on your vision and dialing into what really is possible for you. Okay, what is possible for you. The second piece is to start building evidence of what's possible. So you're going to want to start actually searching out for people who have done what you desire to do. So if you are a midlife woman, that's predominantly who I'm working with. If you're a midlife woman who's single, and let's say you have 4 kids and you were divorced 4 years ago, and you're in menopause, and you think that no one's going to want you with the baggage that you have and at the age that you are, and yada, 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 the stories. You got to find women who meet those criteria and have done it, because they exist. Whatever your situation, circumstances are, whatever your age, whatever your baggage, and by the way, there's no such thing as children being baggage. Your man or woman, whoever it is that you're calling in, will love them just as much as you love them, because your person will. And you only want that one person. That person will be on the same page as you. But yeah, you've got to get really interested in reading and watching and searching out stories of women who have perhaps been through the trauma that you've experienced, that have had relationship failures like you've had, that have maybe experienced the dysfunction that you've experienced. They're in similar kind of life circumstances to you. Search them out. They exist. And actually, I got a bit of a bee in my bonnet about this, because I wanted to really, and I still want to help midlife women call in their soulmate. And I don't see a lot of resource for this age group. I see a lot for people in their 20s, maybe even their 30s. But as soon as you get over 40, I haven't been seeing enough role models out there being with a light shone on them as to what's possible. So I did a little interview series a few months back called Next Level Love. So if you go over to our YouTube channel, maybe I'll share a link for that. But if you search the School of Self-Love and our YouTube, you'll find us. I should be able to reel it off really off the top of my head, shouldn't I? It's probably youtube.com/the School of Self-Love. If someone's here, can you try and search that for me? And if that works, can you just share the link in the comments? That would be really helpful. I bet someone here would do that for me. Sarah would, but she's just gone for a meeting. She's abandoned me. But yeah, I did a whole series of, I think I interviewed about, Well, I think we did. I think we got to about 10 women in the end with the intention of doing more. So I'm open. Please do approach me if you want to be interviewed, if you're a midlife woman, because I want to share these stories. My story is one of the stories as well. You know, of course, I am a midlife success story when it comes to calling in your soulmate. I had all sorts of baggage and questions and doubts and proof that it's possible. So I would like to think that I act as inspiration to a bunch of women. And I found all sorts of amazing women from different parts of the world, different walks of life, different religions, different skin colors. And each of them shared their beautiful love story and how they called in next level love in part two of their life. So go watch those, watch them again and again. Okay. Um, and yeah, so that's all very good, Katie. That's all very good. Focus forward, focus on what I want, what I don't want. Yes, look for role models. But how do I stop thinking about him? How do I stop ruminating on him? And this is where my expertise and the deeper transformational coaching and healing work comes into play. So I call it transformational living. And this is a way of doing life that I've adopted, that my clients have adopted or are adopting. And it becomes a daily process of constantly checking in with where you're at and how you're feeling, which is focus. So the first step is focus. It's awareness creation. We're focusing on what it is that's going on for you that needs shifting and changing. So with regard to what we're talking about today, we're looking at, why are you being held in the past when you want to be moving forward? Why do you keep seeing his face in your vision? That's our focus. So I would invite you to take a look at that and dive deep into, well, what was it about that relationship that still hurts you now? What was said or done that still creates anxiety or pain or worry? And feel your feelings around that. So step 2 of the transformational process is allowing yourself emotional expression in a safe and private way. So really allow yourself to feel what you feel, because quite often, instead of acknowledging the pain, the heartbreak, the shame, the regret, and really allowing ourselves to feel and release it, we just beat ourselves up on what we could have done better. So we skip over what's really going on. We get angry at them, we get angry at ourselves, and the anger and the judgment is a way to deflect having to feel what's really going on. What's really going on is that him leaving me or our relationship not working has triggered, I'm not enough, that there's something wrong with me, that I'm not good enough in some way. It might trigger those childhood wounds, that little girl way back when something happened and she made it mean she wasn't enough. And the feeling of the vulnerability of that little girl could be coming through, which is why I do a lot of inner child work with my clients. It's a hugely healing process. But we have to feel these feelings. Feeling is healing. We don't heal from up here. We can't think ourselves through healing. We have to feel it. It's a body experience. It's the home of the feminine. The feminine feels. Our masculine energy thinks and figures stuff out. It's brilliant. Yay, the masculine. But it's the feminine that helps us feel and move through. So instead of thinking and worrying and getting angry at yourself and angry at him and all that conversation, I would invite you to drop down behind all of that noise and feel the vulnerable feelings that are looking to be felt. Feel the sadness, feel the regret, feel the pain. And then the third step is forgiveness. And we can't move into forgiveness of ourselves, forgiveness of him, others, them, the situation. We can't move into that until we've allowed ourselves our really vulnerable feelings first. And through forgiving yourself through forgiving him. You're not saying, I'm available to be treated that way again by a narcissist. That's not what you're saying. But what you are doing is clearing the past and opening yourself up to something better going forward. So focus, feeling, forgiveness. It's the 3 steps: creating awareness, emotional expression, and then release through forgiveness, letting go. Don't hold on to it any longer. Emma has found my YouTube channel. Thank you, darling. I knew somebody would be amazing at that. See, it's a really annoying link, isn't it? How am I supposed to remember m.youtube.com/c/the School of Self-Love? I don't know how I'm supposed to remember that. But what I do know is, I guess, if you go to YouTube and search the School of Self-Love, we're there. And we've got a bunch of different playlists. So we've got a Couple with Katie playlist. You can catch all past episodes of these Couples with Katie. There's a Dating and Relationships playlist. There's an Empowering Women playlist, lots of playlists. So ditch Netflix and dive into the YouTube channel. Yay. Thank you, Emma. You're an angel for sharing that. Really appreciate it. Let me just go back to my notes for a second. Actually, let me have a sip and then. Yes. But that was the other thing I was saying here is, remember we were talking about your focus, and at the minute you're probably focusing more on the past rather than your future. There's kind of a step, even the other focus other than focusing on your future is focusing on yourself. This is why the transformational process, this healing journey of awareness, emotional expression, forgiveness is so important, because what it's doing is redirecting your energy back into you and giving you what you need, giving yourself permission to feel what you feel. You have to make you your focus. You have to make your healing your focus. You have to get over any belief systems, any thoughts that are telling you that it's selfish to put that amount of time, energy, and perhaps money into your healing. There's nothing more valuable. And if you want to have a healthy, next level, empowered relationship, you don't get to unless you create that experience for yourself and with yourself first. That might sound harsh, but I know if you're watching this, you know that. If you've come this far, 20 odd minutes into this, you know that you need to be your focus. Your healing needs to be your priority. And you will be rewarded. You'll not only be rewarded with feeling proud of yourself, and like a client said to me recently, which I'm just going to use again and again now because I love it so much, in awe of yourself. You don't just get to feel in awe of yourself and proud of yourself, but you get to call in a relationship with somebody who is going to be in awe of you too. And you are preparing yourself to such a degree that you become a gift to that person, and they become an amazing gift to you too. But James often used to say to me, and he doesn't really say it anymore because we've been together for a few years now, but in the early days, he was like, thank you so much for the healing work that you did, for the journey that you went on, because it brought us together and it allows us to have a very healthy relationship where we can now grow together. You've got to practice growing on your own to be able to grow with somebody else, right? Oh, I've got to go. No worries, Emma. So good to see you. Mwah. Sending you love as well, darling. Sending you love. I saw you last night. I'm sending you love. So yes, throw yourself hook, line, and sinker into your personal growth. That's key to the key to the key. And then part of the first stage of that transformational process, the awareness creation stage, I've got some questions to ask you, because quite often when we find it hard to let go of the past and move forward, there's actually secondary gain going on, something called a secondary gain. It means you're getting something from it. Hard to believe, but true. You are getting something out of holding on to the past. Now, it could be by focusing on him and thinking about him, you get to stay connected to him. You get to not have to say goodbye. You get the experience of an attachment to him. And while in the day-to-day that actually doesn't feel good because it's creating sadness and judgment and regret and all the things, bizarrely, it is like beneath that is, well, it's that security attachment. I don't have to be completely on my own. If I really stop thinking about you and let go, really let go and move forward, I'm going to be on my own, like really and truly. And that can feel very vulnerable. It can feel very scary. We don't want to feel vulnerable and scared and alone and single. So we're getting something out of holding on. We get to keep thinking about someone. When we're single, we got no one to think about. And that might be something, an experience to get used to. If you've been in a relationship a long time, if you've been in back-to-back relationships because you don't know how to be on your own, that was me until it wasn't. It can feel so horribly unfamiliar to not have someone to think about, even if the thinking is negative and creates drama and havoc in your life. The fear, the scariness of not having someone to think about can feel worse than using your precious time and energy on thinking about the drama and the pain. I mean, I have experienced, this is my history, where I was addicted to drama, and it felt better for me because it was an addiction. Addictions usually aren't good for us, right? But I was addicted to the drama, the chaos, the uncertainty, the constant worrying and wondering. I was so used to that. It was such a habit that I didn't know how to not have someone to think about. The abyss of that was awful, and I wanted to fill it. I had to learn to get good at sitting in the abyss and being in the abyss, in the apparent nothingness, because it felt like nothingness to me when I was my world, my life, my head, my heart was so full of chaos and drama and worry. I didn't know how to just be without all that. And it took some time. It takes practice. That's why self-love is self-responsibility. It's, do I dare to try and put myself in this new situation that's so unfamiliar and so scary until it's not, until you learn that you can fill yourself up and be there for you and have your own back to fill that void. So you're filling it with real, beautiful, unconditional love instead of drama. So often we look backwards and we cling on because we want to stay attached to that person, because not being attached to someone is terrifying until it's not. So Emma's saying, I can relate. Yes. Emma, what's your picture there? When I look at that picture, you look like, are you being like, is it Superwoman? It's amazing. I feel like I can see a mask. I love it. I was addicted to drama. Yeah, I know I've told the story before, but I will never forget having a coach who told me you're addicted to drama. I don't know how old I was at that point. I was probably about 38. Maybe, yeah. Yeah, it's a good 10 years ago. Yeah, I remember her saying to me, you're addicted to drama. And I was horrified. Like, it really was a cold, hard slap across the face, but with love, and the realization changed everything for me, which is why I talk about, we just talked about the transformational process beginning with focus on awareness. That awareness, Katie, you're addicted to drama, was a game changer. Then I got to feel my feelings around that and feel all the different areas of my life, how they were impacted negatively, what I'd missed out on as a result. I got to feel that. And that hurt was feeling that hurt was my way through to the other side. I could then move into forgiveness of myself for my behaviors, for my choices, for what I allowed, what I gave permission to, and how unhealthy and unserving it was. And through that process, I could let it go and leave it in my past. The drama I get in my life now comes from Netflix, and I freaking love it. I love a bit of Netflix drama. Brilliant. Bring it on. I love it. It's just I'm feeling that desire for drama in my life in a really positive, fun way now, not through my own experience. Superhero for World Diabetes Day a few years ago. I love it. Superhero. Yeah, you look really good. I love that. So what could another secondary gain be? So we've shared, you still get linked, you still get to feel linked to him. Yes. So when you are thinking about him, if it's bringing up feelings of shame, sadness, not feeling good enough, not worthy, whatever the feelings are that are created when you think about him, you've got to ask yourself, what are you getting from that? As in, what is familiar about that to you? What's familiar about those feelings? Because it could be that it's so normal to you to feel that way. You've normalized it to such a degree that to not have it would feel very, very strange. And anything different to what you know becomes the unknown, and the unknown is terrifying. There's no certainty in the unknown. All that's certain about the unknown is I don't know it, therefore I can't trust it, is what the brain does. So you've got to just have to slap yourself around the face. It's a cold, hard reality. I can't do that very well. I'm not, how do you like that? I make myself laugh. You got to slap yourself around the face and ask yourself, what is familiar to me about feeling sad? It's like my addiction to drama. It was familiar to me. I didn't want to let that go. Who was I without drama? I had to discover who I was without drama. Turned out I was a much more fun, easy person to be around. I felt a lot happier in my own skin. I became a lot healthier. My skin cleared up. I was getting dreadful skin. I was having health issues. I wasn't holding on to all the toxicity that the drama was creating in my body. Like, who are you without it? So notice the familiar feelings that have become your comfort zone. That's what's being created for you. Do you dare to move into or out of that comfort zone and discover a brand new comfort zone, something that's more loving? And then the other secondary gain could be that, yeah, while holding on to that person in the past, you get to avoid having to open yourself up to somebody in the future. That's like mic drop moment, isn't it? You get to avoid having to open yourself up to somebody else, because love is always a risk. Like, fact. Opening your heart to another human being is always going to be a risk until it's not. But in the first instance, it will be. Do you dare to risk being hurt again? Do you dare to risk your heart again? Do you dare to be vulnerable and put yourself out there? You know, it takes real ovaries to do that. And you don't have to if you keep focusing on what was. So it makes sense why we do it, right? Like, I get it. If you're holding on to the past, I understand, I hear you. And at some point you have to you have to make the decision that it is not serving me anymore. I'm not going to do that to myself anymore. So cord cutting becomes really important. Actually, during my challenge last week, I led a guided visualization on cord cutting, which was like, I knew it was going to be powerful, but I didn't know to the degree like that it would be powerful. So some of the women really went there in that visualization and really cut some cords, and it was very beautiful. So you've got to cut the cord. I'm not going to do a guided visualization here today, and maybe I will do another time. Let me know if you want me to do one on a future Couple with Katie. Maybe I will. Email support@theschoolofself.love and request it, and we'll line it up for a future show. Emma's saying, I had drama in my head for someone for 4 years. Feels so good to feel calm about it now. We are no longer in touch, but I feel healthier for it. I allowed him to not treat me that well. I was so scared to lose him. Yeah, right? We give these people permission to treat us really badly because that feels easier than diving into the abyss of not having someone to think about. It sounds crazy in the black and whiteness of talking about it now, right? But when you're in it, it makes perfect sense. Why would I allow myself to be that vulnerable and get hurt? No, thank you. The hurt and the pain and the drama I'm experiencing now, I know it. I know it well. I can predict when it's going to happen. I know how to handle it. I know how I function. I know how I function inside the drama. I don't know how I function inside the abyss. So I stay with what I know. I treat it as a positive now and have learned so much. Yeah, well, you will have. And this is the beauty of this. Like, relationships are our mirror, and they reflect back to us the pieces within ourselves that are looking to be healed next. Always. So even though it feels a risk to put yourself out there and go for a new relationship, something that can help us do that is the knowingness that whatever my experience is with this person, it will be a gift because it's going to reflect something back to me about myself that I can take forward. It might be a part of myself that I really love and appreciate and want to magnify and expand on. It could be a part of myself that I haven't healed yet and it needs some more work. And yeah, that will hurt. And it will be the making of me, of you. And then finally, cold, hard truth. Let's just do some, with love from my heart to yours, some cold, hard truth. Because this is what your friends want to tell you and they're not going to tell you. It's what your family members want to tell you, they're not going to tell you. It's what they're thinking about. It's what they think when you keep focusing on him. What they think is, if he was meant for you, you'd be with him. If it was meant to be, you'd be together. If he was your soulmate, he'd be standing by your side right now and you'd be figuring this out together. It's not about being perfect. You'll both have your stuff. You'll both make mistakes. You'll both say the wrong thing. But if you're meant to be together, you'll do it side by side. If you need support individually, you'd get it. If you need support as a couple, you'd get it. And you'd do it side by side and you'd stay in it together. If you're not with that person, there's a reason for that. And you can cling to, this is another theme of the week last week, you can cling to the potential of what that relationship could have been, what that relationship could be, because I'm sure there's loads of potential there. I'm sure he's full of potential. I'm sure that what drew you to that person was the goodness and the truth and the light of their heart, because most people are fundamentally good, beautiful humans. We're good, beautiful humans, then we just have these layers of shit over the top of it. That's why our work has to be, we've got to learn and value prioritizing our inner work. and doing our healing so that we can remove the layers of shit and come forward and show up in relationship as close to the purest loving being that we are. It's not easy, but this is our daily invitation. This is the daily invitation of the spirit having a human experience. And he, yes, full of potential. Is he willing to clear out the stuff, though, that's getting in the way of that potential? That's not for you to do. And you can focus on the potential all you like. It's not going to clear it away. That's on him or her. And it's the same for you. So potential shemental. If you're not in each other's lives, there's a reason for that. And if you're meant to be at some point in the future, it will happen naturally because you've both gone off to do your work and healing to come back together. But your focus has to be on you and being willing to take the leap of faith into something new, whatever, whoever that is. It's brave stuff, isn't it? It takes a lot of courage to let go and move forward. Rachel's saying, can completely relate, read the drama, the weird blend of nature, nurture, conditioning, yes. And we don't always get to see it for what it is. Yes, darling, yes. And you, knowing you, I do know you, you are committed to exploring and discovering what it is and healing, which is beautiful. Anywho, my darlings, somehow it's already 2:00 in the afternoon, and I don't know how that happened. The day goes, doesn't it? So I hope that something I shared today will shift something in your life. I'm sending you so much love. If you want to be part of my next challenge, the link to it is in the comments in this post. Click that and come join us in February. If you want more from me, head on over to theschoolofself.love. That's our website. There's all sorts of bits and bobs on there and freebies. Follow us on Instagram. We're at theschoolofself.love. And yeah, stay tuned. We'll see you next week. Kisses from Emma in Dubai. Mwah. Kisses back to you. Rachel, much love. Katie, thanks so much for sharing yourself with us. I love sharing myself with you. You're very welcome. Yeah, I'll be back next Wednesday. And until then, take care of yourselves. And I love you dearly. Mwah. Bye, darlings.